Hello, my name is Mike Geig, and in this video, we are going to look at our very first Windows program in Windows Programming with C#. Now we're going to start here. This is the start page that we're all familiar with inside Visual Studio 2010. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and create a new project, but my new project is going to be a little different from the one you're used to. So I'm going to go to New Project, and then I'm going to select Visual C++ or C# Windows, and I want a Windows Forms application. Okay, that's what we're creating. We're going to create a Windows Forms application, and I'm going to call this one Hello World. It's building right now, and you're going to notice something very different. All right, we didn't start with a code sheet or a code file. We are looking at a form. All right, a Windows form right here. All right, and it looks pretty much like everything you're used to in Windows. As a matter of fact, if you look at Visual Studio, you can see, hey, there's a title bar here, there's a title bar there, there's a line, a square, and an X, there's a line, a square, and an X. I'm in a form. Actually, Visual Studio is a form, and every other program you can use in Windows is essentially a form, okay? And so that's what we're building. We're building Windows programs. All right, and I can actually run this. All right, I'll run it right now. And look what I have here. Now, this is neat. This is pretty cool. I have a fully functioning windowed program. All right, it has a lot of stuff it can do. All right, I can right click it and look at all the stuff that's just built in. I can resize it, that's just built in. I can minimize it. Let me pull it back up here. I can maximize it. I can close it. Right, all that stuff that I didn't have to program. It's just built-in functionality, right? So already we can see that it's very, very powerful. All right, and we have a fully working program without having to do anything else. You'll notice again the console is not here. Okay, if you from the parts 1 through 4, we worked in a black console box. That's gone. There's no more console. We can create a console, but we're not going to. We're just going to work entirely with this visual program. All right. One more thing, unlike the console programs where you run it, it does its thing and then closes. This window is just sitting here. It's not doing anything. It's just waiting. All right. This is event-driven programming. It will sit here forever until I do something to it. All right. This right now I'm causing an event that says, hey, I'm resizing it. I can do something with that if I wanted to. But otherwise, it'll just sit here forever. Now I'm going to fire off the event to close the form, and the form goes away and the program stops running. All right. So already pretty neat, very powerful. Okay. So we have our toolbox right here. We have a couple things. We have Server Explorer we're not going to mess around with. We have a toolbox that's got all these nifty things. And we have data sources, which we're not going to mess with right now. Also, we have a properties window. And I'm actually going to drag the properties window over here to the side. The reason being is since I'm recording this video, having the properties on the left-hand side as opposed to the right-hand side will allow me to keep my videos a higher resolution. Okay, so I can give you better HD. So we've got our properties window over here. All right, properties window we didn't use a lot in console applications. We're going to use a ton in Windows programming. All right, it's very, very powerful. I mean, let's look at some of the things we can do with Form 1. By clicking Form 1, you're going to put this box. Don't double click. If you double clicked, just wait. I'll show you here in a second. If you single clicked, you got these handlebars, which allows us to resize here. But that'll select Form 1. And you can see here I can change its name. I'll leave its name as Form 1. If you want to change it saying Form 1 up here, I can come down to its text property and change that to say Hello World. And now look, it's changed to be Hello World right there. Very good. I can change its size over here in the properties window. All right, I mean I can do a lot of stuff. These properties are awesome. We'll cover the properties as we get there. All right. Now, if you double clicked, you see this now. Okay. All of our forms have code behinds. Okay, where our interactivity is programmed. So this form here is the WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. It's the graphical component. This is the code behind it. By double clicking on the window, we've created an event handler. All right. Our event handler, our event handler is basically a function that fires off whenever a particular event happens. This event happened, our handler says Form 1 load. So whenever this form loads up, i.e. becomes visible, our Form load event fires off. Okay, we'll play around with that later. So for instance, when I run this, my Form load event fires off. Okay, so let's add some functionality here. I'm going to come over to my toolbox and I'm going to add a label for now. Now we'll talk more about the label and what it does and everything in another video. Just sort of follow along here. I'm going to change the name of my label to LBL Hello World. I like LBL for label. It's just what I do. You know, you can do whatever you want. And my text is going to be nothing. All right, so no text, nothing there. If I run it, I don't see anything. The label has no text. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some functionality there. In my form load event right here, I'm going to say LBL hello world dot text equals hello world, just like that. So now whenever this form loads up, this label, the text property of the label, will be hello world. Notice I didn't do this. I can't do label hello world equals hello world. Label hello world is a control. It's a label, not a string. We have to say dot text. Dot text is a string. That's what it's going to say. All right, and notice how we access that just like we access the properties of an object of a class from part 4 and 5. All right, everything is an object here, so everything will be label hello world dot something, text box dot something, button dot something. Okay, so that's how we can use it. Now I'll run it again, and we see hello world. The label got the text hello world on the form load event. Okay, this is a lot of information. In future videos, we'll talk about what this means. I just want to quickly show you some Windows programming so we can ensure your Visual Studio is working correctly and just some intro stuff. Okay, so don't if this is baking your noodle right now, if this is like way you're confused, just bear with me here. All right. So that was our label. Let's go ahead and remove this here, this line of code. So I'll run it again. Once again, the label won't say anything. And now I'm going to add a button. I'm going to go back to my toolbox. I'm going to find button. I'm going to drag it on here. I'll center up as best as I can. Doesn't really matter to me. Right there is fine. I will change the name of my button to BTN Hello World for button Hello World. And I will change the text to say click me. All right. See, now it says click me. Now I want to create an event handler for this, so what I will do is I will just double click the button and it'll create an event handler for me. So whenever it creates an event handler for button hello world, click event. So whenever this button is clicked, whatever is inside here will happen. So I will say label hello world dot text equals hello world. Oh great. And now we can run it. Now again, note, event-driven programming. Nothing's happening. That label doesn't say hello world anymore. It's waiting for me to do something. Namely, it's waiting for me to click this button that says click me. I'll click it, and it says hello world. Okay? So when I click this, that event fires off, and the text of the label equals hello world. Now one more thing we can do, one more thing I'm going to put in this video, is we can make the button modify itself. So here inside BTN hello world, we are going to say BTN hello world, that's the button for hello world, dot text equals hello world. And I will run it. And now when I click it, now it says hello world. All right, so there's some neat things we can do with the button. We can do something like this. If BTN hello world dot text equals click me, BTN hello world dot text equals hello world. Whoa, can't type. Else BTN hello world dot text equals click me. Now what we'll do is we've essentially established a toggle. All right, so when I run it, and we'll see click me, hello world, click me, hello world, click me, hello world, click me. So we can do cool stuff like that. We can do all sorts of stuff here. I don't want this video to go on very long. I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. But you can see there's a lot of neat stuff we can do with Windows programming. A lot of this is weird. I get that. You know, we'll talk about it. Okay. But for now, it's kind of some of the stuff we can do. I just want to get you kind of diving in here with Windows programming, get you experience to it. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. In the next couple of videos, we're going to look at labels, buttons, and text boxes. And eventually we're going to look more at these events here because they're very powerful and they allow us to do some really neat things.